My philodendron billietiae is huge, like this thing is almost as big as me, so today we're going to be repotting it. This plant has been in this pot for over 3 years and it definitely needs a repot. As you can see, the roots are definitely overgrown in this pot and they are growing out of the pot. So let's get this plant a new pot. Ever since I got this plant a few years ago, it was only living in just sphagnum moss and not any soil, so I've just continued to just let it live in just only sphagnum moss. And that's what we're going to be using for today. I'm going to be taking some rainwater from my rain barrel and I'm just going to be adding that to the dry sphagnum moss so that it can absorb the water. And after the sphagnum moss has soaked up some of the water, this is what it will look like. I'm going to be taking a plastic pot that's a little bit bigger than the other one. It's about a couple inches bigger as you can see here. And then I'm just going to be taking the damp sphagnum moss and I'm just going to be adding that to the pot. As I go, I kind of just squeeze the sphagnum moss so I can get some of the water out, but I still want it to be pretty moist. Sometimes there are little wood pieces or little things that aren't supposed to be in the sphagnum moss. I just remove it and put it off to the side. I forgot midway through that I was going to add rocks to the bottom, so I just took some rocks and I added it where the holes are at the bottom to help with drainage. And also helping keep the sphagnum moss in the pot. Then I'm just going to be taking the plant and I'm just going to be adding it to the new pot. After setting the plant into the pot, I'm just going to be taking the sphagnum moss and adding some more into the little container with some water. And here's what the sphagnum moss looks like, and I'm just going to be adding it to the front of the pot so that the plant could be more straight. Over time in the old pot, the plant got really top heavy and started leaning towards the front, so this time I'm just going to be putting some sphagnum moss in the front so that hopefully it can grow more straight up. And I'm hoping that it won't lean for a while. Also, when adding the sphagnum moss, I also make sure to push it down so that it is secure in the pot. The next thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be taking the super long aerial roots that are growing downwards and I'm just going to cut them about a little bit more than halfway. I'm only cutting the ones that are going in a downward position because they're really long and I'm hoping that when I cut them off, I can take the remaining part of the aerial root and I can just stick it into the pot and that it will hopefully grow more roots into the pot. This will also help the plant be more secure and it will help it not lean towards the front as much, hopefully, because then it will have more security in the front and the roots will be able to stabilize it a bit more. Then I'm just going to be taking some more sphagnum moss. I had to use another pack of sphagnum moss because I'm using a lot for this. And I'm just going to be taking some and packing it around the aerial roots, and here is what the plant looks like. I'm going to be taking a new pot, and this is the pot I'm going to be using. This is the pot that I'm going to be having the plant sit in. It was the only pot at Lowe's that didn't have a drainage hole. But yeah, here's what it looks like. I think it looks so pretty and I love it with the white pot. I think it's beautiful. After that, I just put it into my plant room and I gave it some water, and here's what it looks like when it's done. Thanks for watching.